Oh, beautiful pearls. How is everyone doing? I hope you had a great weekend. I personally had a sleepless weekend. I was taking, I was attending the World Summit of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and it was literally starting every day at 6 p.m. Dubai time and finishing at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. the next day. So it has been a very eventful weekend. It's such an amazing experience to go through, and I'm so honored and so delighted to have been able to go through it. Really, it's to say the least, it's really a life-changing experience. I mean, I've been going through a lot of life-changing experiences lately, and I'm like very happy about it. I'm very excited about it. It's something that is really so empowering and so humbling at the same time, to know the things that you know and to understand the things that you go through in your life. This is an experience that's really very important for everyone to go through, and we all go through it. We all go through it in different timings in our lives, depending on where we are and what is going on around us in our lives. So I'm blessed to be able to go through this experience now. I would have been blessed if I went through it earlier. I mean, I'm blessed to go through all my experiences throughout my life. And gratitude is something that is very important for all of us, to be able to feel it, to be able to know, what are the things that we are grateful for in our lives. It's very important to know and to be grateful and to feel gratitude, because gratitude is like this. It's such a positive energy, it's such a positive vibe that will bring you to a lot of positivity, and it will bring to you a lot of positivity. So feel it and experience it and do it, feel gratitude, experience it and do it. This would be like a simple advice to start my life with today. So today I am going to be talking about how our internal environment, everything that we go through internally, reflects in our external environment and becomes the life that we live and becomes the reality that we are in. So I'll give you an example. Like, when you wake up in the morning and you say, like, you spend the rest of your day thinking that we always say it, like, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. What does that mean? Where is that coming from? Like, why would anyone sleep and wake up, as they say, on the wrong side of bed? There are lots of reasons. I mean, we all go through a lot of things in our lives, and we kind of tend to suppress everything that we go through. Like, we experience sorrow, but we suppress it. We experience pain, but we suppress it. We suppress all these emotions and we suppress all these feelings and there are so many reasons why we do that. Many of the reasons are sometimes related to us, but a lot of the reasons are also related to how we worry about the perception that people have for us. And when we go through things in our lives, we are always, not all of us, but I mean a lot of us are worried about being judged and worried about how others will perceive them and what others will think about them, what others will say about them. And I tell you this, I lived in a society that's very closed-minded, if you wish, And this is very true about this society. But I have also traveled a lot, and I have also experienced a lot of different societies. And this is something that is very common. It's not something that is related to one society only. It's not something that is related to one country. This is global. This is like everybody in the world has these issues. They have these, not everybody, of course, I mean, we can never generalize, obviously, but a majority of the people around the world are afraid of how they are perceived. There's this fear of being judged, this fear of being scrutinized because of our ideas, because of our thoughts, because of how we want to live, because of what we want to do with our lives. And if we keep that fear in control, if we surrender to that fear, we will be stagnant. We will never go anywhere. We will stay where we are in our lives. And to move away from that fear takes courage. It takes bravery. It takes you to decide and make a conscious decision that this is what you want to do with your life, that you don't want to stay stagnant, that you don't want to be that person who is always listening to what others think and say, who is always looking for validation from other people. Why do you need it? Have you ever asked yourself, why do I need myself to be validated by others? Who are these others? What do they mean to me? Are they any better? Because we always look, I mean, it's very interesting because we always look from validation for validation from people that are not necessarily better than us. And when I say better, I don't mean like, because I truly believe that everyone is good as they are. I came to this realization. Now I truly believe it, that everyone where they are, as they are, in their own life, in their own skin, this is how they are, this is how they are meant to be. And I respect that, and I embrace that as well. This is how I came over a lot of my own judgments, a lot of my own fears, because we all tend to do that. We all tend to judge. We all tend to have fears, if not from this thing, maybe from another thing. And no matter how hard we work on ourselves, there will always be some places where there are some fears that we might not be able to overcome. And this is natural. This is normal. After all, we are human beings. And there is always this room of being incomplete, unperfect, if this word even exists, you know? Perfection is something that we will always aim for, but it's not something that exists in this reality, at least. It does exist, just not in this reality. So, being in that and coming from that mindset of I want validation and I'm afraid of being judged, you will always get stuck. You will always be like, if you want to be here and you're always thinking that way, you're always going to be here. This gap needs to be like, shortened and completely gone. So how do you do that? This gap which is caused by all of our fears, all of our expectations, I will also say, because we expect a lot. Before we expect a lot from everyone else, we expect a lot from ourselves. We put a lot on our shoulders. We put lots of burdens. We overwhelm ourselves with so many things, with a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of wants, a lot of desires, a lot of pains, a lot of experiences, a lot of everything that you can think of, everything that you can think of. You and me, we all do this, right? We all do this. We put expectations for our future, expectation for our work, expectations for our personal lives, expectations from people. Like we do things and we expect things to happen in return. And this is just another burden that we put on ourselves. And we tend to overwhelm our life with all of this. So today I want to talk about our mindset and how to, not how, I want to start by explaining what happens and why these things happen. And as I always say, we have, I don't always say it, it's a fact that there is in our brain, we have these 3 levels that exist in our brain. There's the conscious mind, and there we have our analytical mind, and we have our subconscious mind. Now, our subconscious mind is almost, like it is the majority, like 95% of what we use in this amazing machine that we have. It is amazing, I tell you. I mean, I'm discovering a lot of things about it. I knew a lot of things, but I'm discovering even more and more because I'm open to that. I made myself consciously decide to know more, to become more aware. So this subconscious mind that we have, this is where everything that we go through in our life is stored. This is where our conditioning happens. This is where, when we come to this life, we start learning things, and then the repetition that we go through, this is what we call our conditioning. And this repetition, this conditioning gets stored in our subconscious mind as experiences. And then those experiences, the more we do them, the more we go through them, they become our emotions. And the more we have of these emotions, this becomes our personality. So our personality is actually stored in our subconscious mind throughout all the years and all the experiences that we go through. Now, when we go through these experiences in our lives, like for example, I'll give you an example. Like when we experience a breakup, okay? Emotionally, we get very sad and we get upset, and we tend to cry and we tend to feel so bad for ourselves. And these emotions become kind of attached to that experience. And every time we remember or we think of that experience, our emotions, these emotions, they just come flooding out. Think about it. Remember any kind of breakup in all its specifics in this moment. Try to remember it and see what happens to you physically and emotionally. You tend to relive it because your body now is memorized, like it has memorized these feelings and these emotions because of this one memory. So the minute you think of that one memory, your whole body will do that, will relive those emotions. And this is not happening consciously. This is happening in your subconscious mind. So in your subconscious mind, the reflection of what's happening there is happening in your body. So in other words, your body and your mind become one. It's like they are the same. So when you go through these experiences, your mindset, if your mindset is focused only on those negative moments, this is what you're going to have in your life. This is what's going to happen in your life. Like if right now you want to think of something negative, you will notice that everything that starts happening, like if you are focused, not just like a thought that comes to your mind, okay, let's be clear about this. So if everything that I'm thinking about today, that's going back to I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So if I say I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and then everything that I think of during the day is me waking up on the wrong side of the bed and me waking up in a negative state, my whole day is going to be a series of negative issues, of negative things that will come my way because my internal state is just manifesting outside of me. It's happening outside of me. So my external environment is literally a reflection of what is happening inside of me. And this is why when you look at people and you see people are sad and happy, they tend to look at other things. I mean, I reached that space because I worked so hard on this. I'm naturally someone who's very jolly. People who will know me, they will tell you I'm a very jolly person. Like, I like laughing, I like joking. It keeps me happy, and it keeps me high energy and high vibrations. They will bring high vibrations back to you without you putting any expectations on that. Now, when we start putting expectations on, I'm good, I'm nice, I'm happy, and then the minute we start putting those, because I'm happy and good and nice, I expect happy things to happen to me. The minute we put it in this perspective, it stops working. So just do it because this is how you want to be. Just be jolly or be happy or be in a positive state because this is how you want to be. Without having those expectations, without waiting for applause from people, without waiting for anything else coming to you from outside of you. Let everything that you want to think of be within you, something that you want to feel, that you are excited about, that you are happy to be creating for yourself. When you start creating these feelings and these emotions for yourself because you want to, and this is because this is where you want yourself to be, things will start happening around you without you forcing them, without you expecting them to happen. They will start coming naturally. And your whole life will start moving in a completely different direction. It will start changing. Instead of living your life on an autopilot that is always this, like you wake up in the morning, this is how your life goes, 1, 2, 3, you have your rituals, you do everything exactly the same way, you go to work, you come back, you finish your day, and mostly all of it is on an autoplay. Mostly all of the things that you do when you start, like, they become habits and then they become part of your subconscious mind and you start doing them on an autoplay. Like when you drive the car. Like when you drive the car, you go, you switch it on. Like, you never think, now I have to switch on the car. Now I have to put the drive. Now I have to move forward. Now I have to go left. You don't think of these. You just do them. This is what I mean by autoplay. You just do everything that you are doing in your daily life. So every time that you are in your subconscious mind on the autoplay, okay, on the autopilot or the replay. I keep saying autoplay and mixing it between replay and autopilot. So you're always on autopilot and you're always replaying things over and over and over again. And like Einstein says, you cannot keep on doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. He says this is the exact definition of insanity. Doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. if you want different results, you have got to you have got to jolt your body. You know, when someone goes through heart arrest and they need to revive the heart, and they give them this electrical shock. You need to give your body this electrical shock. Your mind, your body, your whole life, you need to give that electrical shock for things to start moving in a different direction. Now, how do you do that? There are so many different ways, but the first and most important way is to decide that you want to do it. Is to actually acknowledge the fact that you are living in this autopilot. To acknowledge the fact that you have what we call limiting beliefs, that there are things that you have in your life that have been building and that have been stacking in your subconscious mind and in your whole life, that are limiting you from going forward. And being judgmental is one of those limiting beliefs. Judging others is a limiting belief. It's a limiting belief that comes from you not trusting yourself and not knowing who you really are. And you start because of that limiting belief. It's one of the limiting beliefs that causes people to judge others. There are so many other limiting beliefs, and to find your limiting beliefs, it's not like an exercise that, I'm gonna sleep and in the morning, I know my limiting beliefs. That's not how it happens. This is work. This is work. This is you realizing that you want to excel, that you want to grow, that you want to go to the next level. And you start thinking, okay, what is stopping me? Why am I being stuck? Why am I stagnant where I am? What is it that I need to do, or what is it that I need to change to move from this stagnation, to move from this level where I am stuck, or from procrastinating, keep on doing the same things over and over and over again, and never finishing anything. Actually, when people procrastinate, they don't finish anything. So do I want to be here, or I want to grow? And if I want to grow, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? How am I getting from here to here? There are so many ways. But like I said, first, we have to acknowledge the fact that there are so many things and so many beliefs that we have in our subconscious mind that are limiting us from moving forward. Acknowledging them and working on removing them, and this is something that we can do, of course, is what's going to take us to the next level, and it's what's going to help us move from the stagnation to the evolution. And then this evolution, I always tell you, when I do all my lives, when we start learning, we never stop. On this journey specifically, we never stop, because the more you learn, the more you discover. And the more you discover, the more you are intrigued to understand even more, and to discover even more, and to want even more. I mean, I tell you, I'm not someone who reads. And I can assure you, like, the number of books that I read before starting my journey are like you can count them on one hand. And some of them I had to read because, well, maybe two hands, because some of them I had to read when I was in college, when I was studying. And I had to read them because I studied theater, so I needed to read them because I had to make a mise en scène or a play out of those exactly two books that I literally read from page 1 to the last page, and I had to read them very slowly because I have to think how I'm going to put them on stage. So I have to also visualize the act itself. It's like directing a movie. It's like putting a book in a movie. So those two books You can imagine, because I wanted to put them on stage. Imagine how slowly I was reading them, because you have to read and also envision and understand and read between the lines. So, like, long story short, I'm a very slow reader. And by being that very slow reader, I didn't enjoy reading, because if you want to read something, you want to finish it. And then after that, maybe I read like from cover to cover, then like cover to end page, maybe 2 other books, until I started working on myself and I started my awakening journey. And then I became like obsessed with, oh, I want to read this book. I want to read this book. I bought so many books that I haven't read yet, because I bought so many. But I really, now I'm like enjoying reading those books, because once you start on that journey of expanding and getting out of your limitations that are mainly caused by your limiting beliefs, you start wanting to be like this. I want to grab everything that I can, because I want to excel, because I want to be better, because I want to become that. I want to awaken that person, that energy that is lying within me, that's been there forever, and it's been suppressed and suppressed throughout all my conditioning years. And when I say conditioning years, I mean it, because when we come to this world, we come like a blank tabula rasa, I call it. So it's a blank whiteboard. It's a whiteboard. There's nothing on it. It's pure psychology, people. There's nothing on this whiteboard when we come to this life. And then we start experiencing life. We start learning from what we see. We start learning from what we hear as kids. We start being conditioned by the limitations of the people around us. We don't know. We don't know. We are just learning from observation, from seeing, from experiencing what others are experiencing. And this becomes our nature. It becomes who we are. But this is not true. This is not true. It becomes something that we get conditioned throughout our lives to believe, to feel, to act. And then one day, and I'm sure every single person on this planet will reach at one point or another, they will reach this realization. They will ask these questions. We will always reach this place where we will think, why is this happening to me? What am I here to do? What is my calling? What is my intention of being on this planet? What's my calling? Why did I come here? Every single person at one point in their lifetime, maybe this one or another lifetime, they will reach to this question, and they will ask this question. And they will get all sorts of answers, because if you ask this question in the right setup and in the right mindset, and you have the openness to understand and to receive the answers, then literally the sky is your limit with where you can go with this. You can go to so many places. But first and foremost, you will be able to start knowing who you are, why you are here, and what is it that is in store for you, because you will know. Once you access that energy within you, once you access that hidden talent that you have, and we all have it. We all have it. So the first thing for you to be able to reach that zone, to be able to reach that place, is to start, by understanding that you are here for more, that you are here to do something, and you need to figure it out. You need to know why. So having the mindset that is an open mindset to so many possibilities, to so many answers, This is something very important. And then from there are so many things that you can do. I personally started with meditations and a little bit of 21 days of exercises. This is how my journey started. It actually started before that, but the main difference started when I started doing those exercises. So I started by doing 21 days of abundance, and I let my mind be in a place where I'm happy and I'm willing to open up my thoughts, to accept and to receive whatever ideas were coming to me, whatever information I was getting from this journey. So this openness in your mindset and understanding that this power, you have it, you just need to let it show, and you need to let it guide you. When you let it guide you, at one point in time, you become the master and you become the guide. But you have to start by letting it open and guide you. So that's number one. Number two is you have to make that decision. It's a conscious decision. So you're no longer in your autopilot. You're no longer thinking from your subconscious mind. You're taking a very conscious decision that you want to do this. When I decided to start my journey, yes, it did come to me in a very unexpected way. But this is how things happen, by the way. This is how manifestations happen. They come to you unexpectedly. But at one given point in time, you wanted them. You were fixated on them. They were growing in your head. You wanted them so much, and then you forgot that you wanted them. And then when you awaken, it's like when this manifestation is coming to reality, it's coming to fruition. Now is the time, and it is there, and everything happens in its own divine timing. So when I started my journey, it was the timing, because I've always thought, later on I started remembering things that when I was 5 years old, I used to tell people around me that I want to teach. And I've always had this, by the way. I was always that person who would want to give that experience from my side, that give that information, give that support. It's always been something that I wanted to do. I just didn't know where, how, when. And then when I started my journey in understanding who I am, going inside and opening up my mind and putting my mind in that space where, yes, I am doing this. When I took that decision, things started coming to me left, right, and center. I tell you, it's been such an amazing journey. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. And this is why when I sit with my friends, I talk about it so passionately. And I'm like, yes, I'm doing this. I'm happy doing it, because I know that if I had someone to support me in my years before and tell me, Maysoon, this is how you move from here to here, I would have done it with so much enthusiasm then. But it happened to me, in everything in due course, as they say, and everything in due time. And that was my time. And I am trying to explain how this happens to me, how it happened to me, and maybe this will guide you and open your eyes to how things are happening for you in your life. And I don't know who says this. I don't know if it's Life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us, right? So just keep this in your mind, and that's not something that I said, but I don't really remember who said it, but it's just something that I keep on remembering. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So keep that mindset that life is happening for me, and move with your life from there. Another thing that I want to talk about today that will help you move from not knowing where you are or why things are happening to you. Remember, because everything that you think or you feel becomes a reality in your life. This is how your external environment is a reflection of your internal one. And experience it. I'm not saying it just to say it. I want you to experience it. Think about it. And start noticing. Not just think about it. Start noticing when you go through your daily life. Or now, sit and ask yourself, think about your life. And think about like when you are feeling happy or when you're feeling excited, how is it, what's the environment around you? Or when you are feeling, like I see it a lot when people start thinking of coming like, and this is like one of the biggest limiting beliefs that people have. And this belief is that, you know, I always have to struggle to make ends meet. Cancel that. We don't want that, right? But this is a very, very common limiting belief, that money doesn't come easily, that to be able to live in abundance, we have to struggle. And this limiting belief is very common. And the more you think about it, the more you see that your life becomes very difficult on a financial level. When you open your mind and you start thinking that, by the way, it's not about you just starting to think, it's your divine right. You are born abundant. This is your divine right, is to be abundant. The only issue is with the conditioning that we go through in our lives, and how many layers and layers and layers of limiting beliefs we have stacked in our subconscious mind. We truly become a magnet to lack, because subconsciously this is where we are. This is what we are thinking all the time without knowing it. So, forgive me. So, realizing this and going through that shift of that belief will get you to a place where you will always feel abundant, no matter how much you've got. Always, it's like, because people think that, okay, abundance is only about finance. And abundance is not only about finance. You could be abundant by having people in your life who love you, who are there to support you, who are your backbone. This is abundance. You could be abundant by being resourceful. This is abundance. When you start getting projects left, right, and center, even if you don't, let's say, win them all, but this is abundance as well. The simplest thing, you know, if you are someone who has like an Instagram or a Facebook account, and then maybe you have 100 followers, and then all of a sudden, well, it doesn't happen all of a sudden, right? Because if you are in that mindset of lack, there will always be 100. But if you start removing those layers and layers and become in that mindset of abundance, your 100 followers could become 1,000 followers in one day, without you even doing any extra work on that perspective, you know, like not doing ads or something like that. I'm just giving an example. But to make it a little bit simple for our mind to grasp and understand. When you are living in lack, or when you not living in lack, when you think in lack subconsciously, you tend to create clutter around you. And by clutter, I don't mean only space clutter, because clutter is not only about having things in your surrounding or in your space. It's about cluttering your mind with so many ideas, and most of the time when you are coming from lack, those ideas are related to lack, or those ideas are going to be negative ideas, and then you stack them and you stack them and you stack them, and then all of a sudden you become that negative person who is always negative and negative and negative and nagging and unhappy and feeling unworthy all the time and feeling down all the time. And then you reach to a place where you become very stressed, and then you become depressed, and then oh my God. And it all started in one place, which is you subconsciously thinking from a lack mindset, instead of bringing your mindset to a different level, which is the abundance mindset. That I'm abundant, I deserve abundance, I deserve to be that person who attracts positivity, who attracts who is magnetic to everything that is good. So that changing your mindset, and it starts with that thought that I want to change my mindset to this. And then comes Mr. Ego. I just got this message that talk about Mr. Ego, because Mr. Ego is our number one. I'm not going to say the ego is your enemy, because your ego is not your enemy. Your ego is your protector. Your ego is always trying to protect you. But because you've been conditioned so many years and doing the same things over and over and over again, your ego thinks that this is the right thing. Because it's been there all the time, protecting you, and all the time taking care of you the way it knows how. So when you decide in your very conscious mind that you want to make a shift, your ego is not used to this. Your ego is going to go like, no, what's happening? Oh my God, no, what's happening? We're not going to do this. And it will start going into your subconscious mind, into all your beliefs that you cannot, this is not the right thing for you, or you will fail, or you will never succeed, or people will judge you, and people will say bad things about you, and who are you to do this, and then you go back to ground zero. So this is what's happening basically in your mind. And you can get out of all of this. It just takes work, and you have to do that work if you want to go from this place to this place. I will keep on saying it, because this is the reality of things. Things don't happen just like that. We want to take action. We want to choose to move our life from one place to another. And that choice happens when we make a decision. That choice happens when we get out of our comfort zone. This is me out of my comfort zone. This is me taking my step forward. This is me deciding this life is me literally out of my comfort zone. Talking about where I have been, what I have gone through, and how I learned, and sharing my learnings live on Facebook. This is very much me out of my comfort zone. And I'm taking this, and I'm not stopping. So another thing in your mindset that's very important, you take a decision, get out of your comfort zone and follow through. Don't stop. Be persistent. If you fall, you stand back up and you move forward. Because everything that we do in life is it's a journey. It's a journey. It's not like now I'm here, tomorrow I'm gonna be here. It's not how it happens. It's all a journey, and it goes from one place to another. And another thing that I want you to remember, so that you can take charge of your life. So making a decision, this is number one. Before that, you want to know why you are making this decision. And to know why you are making this decision, you are already tapping into your subconscious mind, you're understanding that you have those beliefs, and you are convinced that you don't want to stay where you are. You are convinced that you want to move from your stagnation to becoming the master of your own life. To remember that life happens for you, not to you. To take charge of things. To take charge of your own life, your own actions, your own emotions. You're the master. Today maybe you are, depending on who is watching this, maybe you are already the master of your life. But if you're not, and if you have any doubts, this will help. This will help you realize, okay, this is where I'm doubting. Maybe this is where I need to look. So after realizing this, you take a decision that you want to be that person, that you want to be the owner of your life, the decision maker in your life, the one that lets life happen for them, not to them, the one that doesn't go back and sulk and go back to that cocoon and just procrastinate and sit there and never do anything. You want to get out of that. So for that, you have to also get over your fear of being judged, fear of not knowing enough. And this is why you learn. This is why I'm learning all of this. And I keep on learning, and I'm going to keep on learning. It's not going to stop. And this is not going to stop. This is persistency. So persistence. So I want to be persistent. I am going to do this. And another thing that's very interesting and very important, I talked about already, which is decluttering. Decluttering your thoughts, decluttering your schedule, decluttering your time, your office, your space, your relationships. And let me talk about a little bit about decluttering your relationships. We were just talking how your internal reflects, like your external is a reflection of your internal, right? So when you look at the people who are around you, the people who are close to you in your life, who are they? What value added do they bring to your life? How are they affecting your life? How is their energy affecting your life? A lot of people around us, we all have our issues, right? We all have our limitations. We all have our struggles. We all go through a lot of things in our lives. When you start this discovery journey, and when you start understanding that you don't want to stay where you are, you don't want to be stagnant, you want to move to the next level, and you start working on that, you will see that the decluttering of relationships will start to happen naturally. It's not like you're going to sit there and start thinking, I need to, okay, this person, maybe I don't need them in my life, okay, I'm going to, let go of them. It will just happen naturally because your energy is no longer in that space. because your internal is no longer that external. So it will bring a different external. So you will start by, sometimes we start creating boundaries without even realizing, like, why am I creating boundaries now? I've been, like, let's say, friends with this person for years. Why now am I creating? You don't ask this question. It just happens because you are on this journey. And you start realizing that your surrounding becomes a little bit different. You add people to your life who are closer to your new mindset. And they will come to you naturally because your internal is becoming your external. It's always been like that. But now, because you're changing your internal, because your mindset is in a different place, and your mindset is affecting everything that you are going through, so you start attracting what you are internally feeling and what you are internally wanting. Most of the time we do it consciously because we are on this journey, but a lot of times we also do it unconsciously. Like when I started my journey, I didn't realize that this is what was happening. Now when I look back at it, I'm like, oh my God, this is why I stopped thinking about such this person and this person and this person, because they were bringing negativity to my life, because I was already in a negative place. When I started being in a positive place, these people don't even cross my mind anymore. Like now I'm talking about them because I need to prove a point or talk about it. But like people that we have resentment for example, in our life. And I have few people that I used to have resentment for. Now I don't even, like, God bless them. They have a journey and they have to go through it. And if I can support them in any way, I would be like more than happy to do it, because I know what it feels like to be in a bad place and to move into a good place. Even when I was in my bad place, I didn't know I was in a bad place. It's when I moved to the good place when I realized, like, oh my God, I was in such a bad place. But now I'm a different person because I realized, and I took a decision, a very conscious one, and I followed through. And the decluttering part of things for me was like, literally, for me it was the moving point. It was what made me go from point A to point B, 180 degrees difference. And I wish I can give this to my mom, for example, because my mom is a hoarder and she loves keeping things around, and the energy of lack that she has is not only her and my dad. And I totally understand, because where, God bless them, where they were and how they survived the times that they were in. You know, when we are born in a country that is a country of war, and when you have to survive and you have to make sure that your children are not killed all the time, and you need to make sure that you have food on the table for them, because you never know if you can go out to buy food, or you never know if you are going to survive that day. So these things are very important for them, and I totally understand. But we're not living there anymore. We've moved. So I've moved, but they are still stuck. And they're still stuck because they have not been in that journey of changing their mindset and understanding that they were there because of very specific situation. They're still there. They just haven't moved. And God bless them. They did the best they could with what they had. And I am like, I wouldn't be here without them bringing me to this life, right? So I want to thank them at least for that. I'm very grateful that they got me here. They got me to this life. They got me to this journey. And I'm so grateful. And the other thing that I want to talk about is actually gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most important feelings that anyone can experience and have. And the more you have it, the more magnetic you become. It's just, for me, and it's one of the major keys of you wanting things to happen for you in your life. Like, if you're not grateful for where you are or what you have, nothing will happen for you. Because you will only be like, if you're in no gratitude land, it's the land of negativity, it's the land of lack, it's the land of unhappiness, it's the land of sorrow, the land of fear, the land of judgment. This is the no gratitude land. When you are in that land, this is what you're gonna get. And moving from the no gratitude to really being grateful to everything. I am so grateful to where I am today. It's even like, no matter how much I say it, when I experience that gratitude, and I experience it all the time now when I meditate. There's one of the things that I do in this specific meditation is I feel gratitude. And I have to tell you, every time, and I do this meditation like every morning for the past few months. Every time I reach the feeling of like the part of the meditation where I want to feel gratitude, it's so beautiful, it's so like joyful, that I start crying from like tears of joy. This is how amazing this feeling is. Like, you know, when you are so in love and your heart goes like, it palpitates, and you're like so excited and so happy and so like over the moon. This is the feeling that I get when I'm meditating, and I reach that zone where in the meditation I want to feel gratitude. And I allow my body to feel gratitude. This is how my body feels gratitude. And it's such an amazing feeling. And I truly, honestly believe, I have so much to be grateful for. And I want you to think and, like, I don't know, maybe put a list. Write them down. Everything that you are grateful for in your life. This exercise is just amazing, and it really, really shifts your mind from being in a negative place internally to thinking, you know what? I'm actually in a very good place. I'm in an amazing place. And I have so much to be grateful for. I have so much to be happy about in my life. And move from there. And the last thing I want to teach you, not teach you, I don't like the word. The last thing I want to leave you with, the last wisdom of the day, is take it step by step. Don't overwhelm yourself when you are on this journey. Take it step by step. But by you taking it step by step, you are already in charge. You're already taking charge of your life. You're already becoming that person who is in charge and who is ready to move forward. And that forward, one step at a time. And every time you cross a threshold, I want to leave you with this. Be happy. Celebrate. Enjoy it. Know how much worth there is by you stepping and crossing that threshold and taking that step and succeeding. Like, every step you succeed in, celebrate it, enjoy it, savor it, and be grateful for it. Be grateful for the change. Be grateful for the success. Be grateful for how much empowerment you are giving to yourself. And be grateful for getting out of your comfort zone and starting this journey for you. For you. Remember, you're doing it for you. You're doing it to become the person that you are here to be. You're doing it so that you can awaken that energy, that beautiful soul that you have inside, that has been so suppressed by all of the things that you have gone through in your life. And with that, I'm going to tell you, I'm so grateful that you are here. I'm so grateful that I have this moment with you, that I share this information with you, that I allowed myself to be that person to hopefully guide you one way or another. I'm so grateful for being here for you, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life to also learn from you. Learning is a two-way street. It's not just one-way street. This is why this group exists. And I hope by this I was able to add a little bit of value to your life. And if I was able to do that, let me know in the chat, and let me know if you would like to talk more about this, and I will connect with you and we will talk a little bit more, and maybe I can help you in your journey. So if you think this is something that you want to go for and something that you really want guidance with, let me know. Say, I want to know more in the chat below, and I will reach out to you. With that, I will leave you for today, depending on where you are in the world, and I wish you a great rest of your day, evening, or night. Ciao, ciao.